So I know exactly what you guys are thinking. Why are you making a Call of Duty video about the Call of Duty that came out 2 years ago? And the simple answer is Humble Bundle, which is something that I've always really enjoyed a lot. I really like going on Humble Bundle and seeing what they have, and luckily this month they had a really cool Humble Monthly going on, which, if you don't know, is basically like a monthly subscription service where they give you a couple of games like straight up. Sometimes it's just even one game, but they're pretty much like the selling piece, where they're like the front image of the bundle, where you get that game instantly, and then when the end of the month rolls around, you get a couple of other games that are normally not as great, but sometimes you can get some really cool finds. So this month they're doing Call of Duty World War II, the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and the Crash Bandicoot Remastered Trilogy as well. So I couldn't pass up on that, even though I already own the Spyro Reignited Trilogy because I bought it as soon as it came out on Steam. This was a super good bundle because, I mean, it's like $12 for a subscription, plus you get those 3 games instantly, and at the end of the month, I think it's on November 1st, I get a couple of more games that come out with the rest of the bundle. So anyways, back to World War II. Normally, I'm not the biggest fan of Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a really casual kind of shooter where you kind of just run around, like really arcade style, like just, run around, kill people, and then, the matches don't really mean a whole lot to you. The whole goal is to like level up and unlock new weapons or camos or whatever you're going for. And I mean, there is definitely appeal to that, and I used to like it a lot more with the previous Call of Duty games that have come out. But more recently, they've been doing a lot of futuristic stuff that I don't really care for, where like you can, I don't know, jetpack or run along walls and all this like crazy shit that they didn't even need to add to the game, in my opinion. So this one was a really interesting selling point for me because I was really interested in this game when it first came out, but I never ended up getting it because, I mean, dog noises. Anyways, I didn't get it because I just think it was bad timing, maybe, or I either didn't have the money for it, or I just wasn't interested in it enough to actually go ahead with the purchase or anything. But getting into this game now has been a really nice, like, breath of fresh air almost for the Call of Duty series, in my like personal opinion, just because with the one that comes out after this game is Black Ops 4, which they completely scrapped the campaign mechanic, and everybody was super mad about that, and they ended up doing a battle royale instead. And don't even get me started on that because I don't feel like talking about it. But anyways, so this game, like, it has so much to it that I like in a Call of Duty game. Like, I used to really enjoy going back through and, unlocking camos for my guns. Like, that was my big thing, is like I didn't care like being like good at the game or like doing well or anything like that. I wanted to go in and I wanted to do the little headshot challenges to unlock camos and then eventually get to the gold camo. Like, that was fun for me. I like the weapon customization as far as like putting skins on it goes. Like, I don't know why, but I've always been really intrigued by that. So with this game, it adds so much more to that, because not only can you go and you can get camos for your guns and stuff, but it's going to sound stupid at first, but there is a loot box mechanic. And yes, you can buy loot boxes, but in my honest opinion, like, being a free-to-play player, like, not free-to-play because you have to buy the game, but once you get into the game, you don't actually have to spend any money on these like loot boxes. You can completely get them like no like charge at all, just by doing these cool little challenges that you get. Like, you get daily challenges that refresh every day, and then you get weekly challenges that refresh every week, and they have different rewards, whether they be loot boxes or credits that you can buy stuff with, or just different stuff. And I mean, there's a lot to it, and I mean, there's just so much to look forward to when you play this game, and there's so much to do that it doesn't feel boring and stale, at least to me. I mean, I'm only 35 hours into the game so far, and I've already prestiged once, which, I mean, that might be good, but I don't know for sure. But I mean, it's fun. Like, there's stuff to do, and I feel like that was a big lacking like point in a lot of the older games. Is once I got to the gold camo, there was no reason for me to use that gun or play the game anymore. Like, I mean, if I got what I wanted out of it, there's nothing there. But with this game, There's like all kinds of like cool weapon variants that you can get, which are really like interesting because they have like small like stat changes compared to the regular gun, or there's completely new guns that you can pull out of the loot boxes, which I mean, it sounds pay to win, I guess, but at the same time, like the drop rate on these is pretty low, as you would expect. But I mean, I've pulled tons of them out of the little crates that I've gotten out of just playing the game and doing the little challenges and stuff. So it's not like it's impossible, and like it feels really good to pull a new gun. Like, I don't know, it's just very cool in my opinion. Another thing is, I feel like they've really fleshed out a lot of the mechanics in this game as far as like giving you an actual purpose to do it. In the previous games, I feel like at least the ones that I've played, I don't know about the newer futuristic ones per se, but with this one, so you can pretty much prestige anything almost. Like the different classes can be prestiged. Your actual rank can be prestiged, which is what you're used to in the previous Call of Duties, and then your guns can be prestiged in this one. I think they added that in a previous game, but I wasn't quite aware of that. Going into this one at least. But there's just all kinds of like different stuff that you can work towards, and I don't know, there's a lot to it, which makes me feel like there's a lot to do, and I like that a lot. Getting past all the customization and stuff that I've ranted on about for the last 5 minutes, one thing that's really cool that I like is the new war game mode. As far as I know, I think this is completely new to this game. I could be wrong there, but the war game mode is really cool in my opinion because it's kind of like a mixture of like the objective game modes, but it kind of puts it into like a longer map formula, I guess, where there's obviously 2 teams, one attacking, one defending, but the attacking team has to like complete small objectives, and the defending team has to like prevent them from doing the objective, as you would expect. But it kind of like, it's not just one objective. Like in this map that I'm looking at right now, the first objective is to push at least 2 of the 3 tanks over to a certain point in the map, so that way it kind of like secures their position. And then once you do that, the enemy team has to fall back, and then your tank or whatever, one of them gets blown up and the other one runs out of fuel, so you have to like go in and infiltrate 2 of the different fuel depots that the enemy team has, and you have to steal the fuel and refuel your tank so that way it can progress further into the map. And then I think after that you have to like move it all the way up to this bridge, and if they hold you off long enough, they'll destroy the bridge, but if not, you get across the bridge and you win the map. I don't know, there's just all kinds of cool stuff. Like, this is a really interesting game mode because it feels like you actually are like moving towards a bigger goal, whereas the other like objective game modes that they've done in the past, like domination and stuff, it feels kind of repetitive here and there because it's like, oh hey, like we have A and B, but they have C, so you go to take C, and then it flips the spawns, and then all of a sudden they have A because that's where they're spawning now. So I don't know, it just feels like a whole like rotate around the map sort of thing and just try to stay on top, whereas this one is like an actual like streamlined objective, and it changes throughout the map, and I like that a lot. And I mean, that's not to say that the original like, you know, game modes aren't fun. Like, I still love playing team deathmatches, just like a casual like fun time and all this stuff. And even some of the maps are really cool. They brought back Shipment from Call of Duty 4, and I mean, that's really great because Shipment is the smallest map you can think of pretty much, and it is so chaotic, especially with kill streaks going on, that like there's just a whole bunch of like stuff to be, or like fun I guess, to be had, just because you're running around, and yes, you're going to get killed a lot, but because Call of Duty is more of a casual game, it doesn't matter whether you die or not. Like, I mean, as far as the objective goes, yes, they want to kill you, but I mean, I don't get mad at this game when I die as much compared to like a competitive shooter. Like, I love to play Counter-Strike, and this game is just a nice break from such a competitive play style, I guess. So I don't know, this has definitely been really fun for me, at least. So I guess to kind of sum it up, this was a really nice find as far as I'm concerned. And by the way, I'm in no way affiliated with Humble Bundle, just to kind of clear that up. I'm not like sponsored or anything. I'm way too small a channel to even be sponsored as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I really like Humble Bundle, and I thought this was a really great catch. And with this video coming up on the 25th, there should be a couple more days left to get this bundle if you end up seeing this. I thought this was a really fun game to play, especially for $12. Like, you get this and 2 other great games. So take a look at it if you want. It's been a lot of fun for me, at least. I've definitely gotten my $12 worth out of it for the other 2 games included. So, I mean, I don't know. Check it out if you want. So, yeah. And other than that, it's pretty much all I have to say. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. I don't really know what the point of this video is other than to tell you that I don't like futuristic Call of Duties, and this is the way to go. But, we'll see with Modern Warfare coming out today. And I'll probably end up getting it and seeing whether or not it's as good as this one. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.